Hello. Hi. It is Thursday, June 5th, 2025, and I am Chef Val. My business name is Macro Val, and I am coming to you from the beautiful state of Michigan, where it is 71 degrees and overcast, and it's wet outside. It rained all night long last night, although it hasn't rained today, but everything stayed wet. But that's okay because my garden got watered. I planted my garden Sunday, so I'm excited about that. Yeah, I know planting my garden kind of late. I plant it late every year. That's just the way it is. But I'm hoping to get some delicious squash, zucchini, yellow summer squash, and arugula and lettuce. All those things I planted. All right. My water is boiling, so I had to turn that off for a minute. So thank you so much for joining me live here in my kitchen. Today I am going to share with you a refreshing tea recipe, pear blueberry iced tea, but it's a unique blend of a drink that not only is, refreshing and it'll help cool you off in the summertime, it also has tremendous health benefits to it. So it's not one of those sugary iced tea drinks that a lot of people drink in the summertime, which are terrible for you, right? Because I want to make sure that everybody, has a healthy drink to consume in the summertime and a drink that will help keep you cool also when it's really hot outside. I mean, that's the whole purpose of eating according to the seasons, so that in the summertime we eat foods and drink so that we keep the body temperature cool, so we're not dying of the heat. Same within the wintertime, we eat and drink warming things that will keep our body warm in the winter. Because here in Michigan, we do have, all the seasons. So I teach according to the seasons, foods that are available at certain times of the season and how they feed and nurture certain organs in your body. And so for anybody who's new, who doesn't know me, I am Chef Valerie Wilson, and I have been teaching healthy, organic, vegan, whole foods cooking classes for 28 years. I am the author of 7 cookbooks. I teach cooking classes on a regular basis, and I also work with people in lifestyle counseling using healthy, organic, whole foods to help strengthen the body so that you can heal from any dis-ease that you might be suffering with. At any time, you can go to my website, macroval.com. Where's my finger here? Right there. That's my website. Has all kinds of information. In fact, this recipe for the blueberry pear iced tea is the recipe of the month on the website. So let's go to the website right now. Here we go. All right, this is my website. When you pull it up here, we see that my new vegan e-cookbook, Sensational Sublime Sea Vegetables, is available for purchase. This is my latest cookbook, just came out at the beginning of this year. And the topic is all sea vegetables. And go back on my YouTube channel and watch a lot of my videos, because I've been doing a lot of videos about sea vegetables because a lot of people are confused about them. They're unfamiliar. And so it's an opportunity for you to learn about it, and you can pick up the new cookbook. And then I also have my cooking classes. We can go to that page here in a bit, but I want to go here to where it says recipe of the month. Let's click on it. Blueberry pear iced tea. This is what I'm going to be making today. Now, if you want other recipes of the month, you can click here and you can see the archives. And then before doing recipe of the month, I did food of the month, and I've been doing that for a long time. If you want to know about any food, like the health benefit of it, like what's the health benefit of quinoa, the whole grain quinoa, I have it in the food of the month here. You can look up and you can find it. I mean, just anything you're looking for, the health benefits of sweet potatoes, asparagus, arugula, just topics, endless topics there, because I did food of the month for a long time and they're all archived. But now I'm doing recipe of the month. And so every month there's going to be a new unique recipe. And so this month, June, is the blueberry pear iced tea. So we're going to start with 2 cups of water. We're going to have 1 pear that's cut up, 1 cup of blueberries, a pinch of sea salt, 1/4 cup of brown rice syrup, and 3 cups of twig tea. So the first thing we're going to do is put 2 cups of water in a pot, add the chopped pears, the blueberries, and a pinch of sea salt. And we're going to bring that to a boil. Then we're going to reduce it and simmer it for 10 minutes. So that is the first step that we're going to be doing here. Stop screen sharing. All right. So anybody who's tuned in, leave a comment, say hello, let me know where you're tuned in from. Again, I'm from the beautiful state of Michigan. And so leaving a comment is a great way for me to, see who's watching and everything. And you can also ask questions. I can answer any questions you want whatsoever. I just noticed that. Don't know why that happened. Here, let's, Dawn. Hi, Dawn. How are you? Great to see you, Dawn. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to make pear blueberry tea here. So I have 2 cups of water here in my pot that's already come to a boil. And so this is really easy. The first step, we're going to take 1 cup of blueberries. Now I have frozen organic blueberries right now. Very, very important that you use organic fruit for recipes such as this, especially because we're boiling the fruit. And so if the fruit is not organic, it's got pesticides or chemicals that are sprayed on it. And the chemicals or the pesticides have a bitter flavor. And we want the tea to be naturally sweet from the fruit. We don't want it to be bitter from the pesticides. So we got 1 cup of organic blueberries. Now, I have pears from last year. Last year was a really, really good year for organic pears. They were so sweet and so delicious. So you know what I did? When they were in season, I bought them, I chopped them up, and I put them in my freezer and I froze them. And so you can get, beautiful organic pears if you want right now. But I happen to have a plethora of organic frozen pears in my fridge. So I'm just going to add the equivalent of 1 pear, which is approximately 1.5 cups of chopped up pear. And so I'm going to put that in there. That's all part of the tea. And so the process is that we're going to, because that fruit was frozen, it's going to take a minute for this to come back up to a boil, right? But then once it gets up to a boil, I'm going to turn it to a low, and I'm going to simmer it for 10 minutes. And what happens is the beautiful sweetness and the beautiful flavor from the pear and the blueberry in that 10 minutes start to come out, and they impart themselves into the water. That's what we want. We want that beautiful flavor to be imparted into the water, okay? So the water is going to come to a boil. I'm going to have you guys pay attention to that water and let me know when it comes to a boil. All you people that are watching, I have a little situation over here I need to take care of. I don't know what in the world happened, but I'm fixing it right now. Hold on a second. All right, it's fixed. All right. Is it boiled yet? Still waiting for, it's almost boiled. It's going to be there just in a minute. Hey, did you know that blueberries are fantastic for you? They're really high in vitamin C, contain vitamin A for your eyes, contain iron, contain zinc. Blueberries contain zinc, calcium. Did I say vitamin C? I think I already said vitamin C, right? Have antioxidant properties, so that's fantastic. Now, all of those wonderful health benefits I told you about the blueberry, they're in there. The essence of all those vitamins and minerals and everything are going to be in the tea. They're going to be in the water that we're boiling right now. And the beautiful pear, of course, has vitamin A and vitamin C. Oh, they both have vitamin A and vitamin C, both pear and blueberries. So that's fantastic. Now, pears in particular are really good for your gallbladder. They are high in potassium, and they also have antioxidant properties. They're good for your eye health. That's pears. Okay. All right. So We're almost there to a boil. Yeah, we're at a boil. All right. I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes. So I turned it down to a simmer. Now I'm going to simmer it for 10 minutes. All right. 10 minutes. All right. So thank you, everybody who's tuned in and watching live. Greatly appreciate it. You can go ahead and say hello in the chat if you're tuned in and watching. And something that's very interesting is, a lot of people on social media are very familiar with how to use it, whether you're on a computer or you're on a phone or something. But there are some people that, are not so, what's the word I'm looking for? So used to YouTube and Facebook and all those other things like that. And so some people, the platform is still new for them. And sometimes we forget that and we need to realize that. So just a little overall explanation for anybody who's new. When I go live like this, there is the chat. So on YouTube, it's on the right-hand side, at least on a computer it is. It might be different on a smartphone. And underneath the YouTube video, there is a place where there's a thumbs up. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can hit that thumbs up button, and that means that you like the video, which really helps with the algorithms, because the more people that interact with the video, then the more popular the video appears to be, and then it's going to show up as suggested videos, which means more people will be able to view it. Now, on the YouTube channel, there's also a button that says subscribe, and that greatly helps my YouTube channel also, which ultimately helps my business. If you hit the subscribe button, because I can't make any money off of my YouTube channel until I have at least 1,000 subscribers, which I don't have 1,000 subscribers yet. So that really helps. Okay. And so the chat, when you put something in the chat, it's as if we're talking to each other. I see it right away. Like if you have a question for me, like, Val, why is it important to buy organic blueberries? I already answered that question, but that was just a made up question. Any question you can think of, like, could I substitute raspberries for blueberries? Oh, most certainly. In fact, I thought of that the other day, that this tea would taste so good if it was like pear raspberry. That would be amazing. Could you substitute apples for pears? Absolutely. The pear and the apple are more of your tree bearing fruit. They're more sustainable fruit. They don't fall apart like the berries, like the blueberries and the raspberries. So this combination, I really like. A fruit bearing, a fruit bearing tree, or a tree bearing fruit, saying it backwards, like a pear, an apple, or a peach. So you want like a sustainable fruit, and then mix it with a berry. So you can mix it. Blueberry is my favorite. A raspberry, you could do a strawberry, a blackberry, or something like that. But just do 2 fruits. If you get into more than 2 fruits, like if you put 5 fruits in here, you're muddling the flavors. And this tea really tastes like blueberry. I mean, the pear is beautiful, and I love the pear, but predominantly I think that blueberry flavor is a little more stronger in here, and I adore blueberries. So that's why this is one of my favorite summertime teas. I really adore this tea. So again, just for people who may be new, the chat is a real-time chat. I can see your questions. I can answer you. Okay. And then if you're watching this in rerun, like you're not tuned in Thursday, June 5th, watching me, if you ask a question or put a question in the chat or something like that, that would be in the comments section. I will see that also. Now on Facebook, again, this is real time. I'm here in Michigan at 6:53 on June 5th. Again, if you hit that like button, I greatly appreciate it. And if you leave a comment, just say hello. That would be great. Really appreciate that. And so on Facebook, again, when people go live, usually there's a button, there's usually a thing that says live. But some people who, these platforms may be new for some people. They might not realize that this is a live video, right? But the video is going to be up on my page, my business page, and my personal page. So it'll be up if you watch this, tomorrow or the next day or something like that, and you leave a comment or ask a question. I will see it and I will answer it. Okay. So just so you know. All right. So now I'm going to add something to the tea that's not on my website. I'm going to make the tea a little more unique. All right. And only people that are watching this video are going to get the benefit of what I'm going to do to this recipe to just tweak it a little bit to change it. I'm going to add basil. Basil is my all-time favorite seasoning, spice, whatever. I love basil. In the spring and summer, I put basil in so many things. Now, the tea has been simmering for 5 minutes, okay? Let's look at the timer. Yep, approximately 5 minutes. So here's what I'm going to do. I buy fresh organic basil, and it comes like this, and I take the leaves off, and I use the leaves in lots of recipes, but I have the stem left. What am I going to do with the stem? I'm going to put the stem right in that boiling water, and then I'm going to infuse the flavor of basil in there. But you don't need a lot. You only need a little bit because basil is a leafy green, and it's bitter to the taste. So I actually did this for the first time yesterday when I made a batch of this ahead of time. I love the smell of basil. Oh my God, just as I'm chopping it, and I'm just using a pair of clean kitchen scissors to just chop it in there. So I'm just going to put like one, there's kind of a phlegm. So just one stem in there. That's all I'm going to do. And it's not overpowering. The basil is really in the background, and I adore basil. So, and basil is fantastic for your brain. Basil is great for your brain food. Basil has anti-inflammatory properties, antibacterial properties. Basil also is a natural mosquito repellent. If you smell like basil, mosquitoes are going to stay away from you. Another reason that we could put, basil in our food and start incorporating eating more basil in the spring and summertime, so we keep those mosquitoes away from us, right? Okay, we're still looking at the timer. We've got a couple more minutes. Now, the other ingredient that's in this tea is Kakusha twig tea. All right, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about that because you have to have that prepared and ready to go to add to this. So I have been drinking Kakusha twig tea for 30 years. It is my main source of beverage. I drink it all the time. Spring, winter, summer, fall, all the time. In the wintertime, I adore it hot. Obviously, hot tea is so wonderful. In the summertime, I do keep some Kakusha twig tea in my refrigerator because when it's 90 degrees, I do like a little refreshing drink. I never, ever drink anything with ice cubes in it, though. Ice cubes is just way too cold. It's a shock to your system. It's way too cold. When you're drinking, especially at your meal, okay? So there's so much to this. I never ever drink when I'm eating either because the drinking interrupts with the digestion of your food. I always wait till after I'm done eating. But cold drinks, especially if they have ice cubes in them, what happens is your digestive tract here, like all the way down as you eat your food, when you eat your food, you want your digestive tract to be open and ready to receive the food. And when you drink something that has ice cubes in it, your digestive tract literally goes like this because it's freezing cold. And the natural reaction is to tighten up and go like this because, it's cold, right? So that would make you digesting the food. Obviously, that wouldn't be complementary to your digestive tract to have freezing cold, something like that to digest your food. It's just not good, Like I said, even when it's like 90 degrees out or something like that, I will have some twig tea in the refrigerator that is refreshing and cool. And I do like that, but I never ever do ice cubes. I just never do ice cubes. Just it doesn't complement, my energy. It just doesn't do anything. All right. So back to Kakusha twig tea. Now everybody always says, they want to see the package. This is Matuko. It's imported from Japan. Matuko is the company I also get my tamari and my umeboshi plum paste from. You have to order this online if you want Matuko, unless you're blessed to have health food stores that carry this brand, but usually not. Now, Eden Foods also has some Kakusha twig tea. Now, notice it's organic. You want to get organic Kakusha twig tea. What is it? Why is it good for you? Why do I drink it all the time? Oh, that's the timer. All right. I'm going to turn off the tea, turn the heat off. Just let it sit there for a few minutes before we strain it. So let me finish telling you about Kakusha twig tea. Chinese green tea. You've all heard of Chinese green tea and how it has antioxidants, anti-inflammatory, and it has anti-cancer properties. Chinese green tea is the leaves, the green leafy part of the plant. And it's high in caffeine, but it's really good for you. Kakusha twig tea, as the name implies, is the twigs of the same plant, right? So leaves, high in caffeine. Twigs, they say there's like minute traces. I say there's hardly any at all caffeine in it. Yet all of the antioxidant, anti-cancer properties that you hear about in Chinese green tea is in the Kakusha twig tea in smaller quantities. Okay, smaller quantities. So Chinese green tea, as the name implies, is green. Kakusha twig tea, as the name implies, it's a twig, it's a brown tea. This is my cup. Well, here, wait a minute. We need 3 cups of the twig tea. So I want to show you the color of the twig tea. So you can see that it's brown, it's not green. So like I said, Chinese green tea is obviously green. Kakusha twig tea is more of a brown tea, all right? Now, I don't know if you know this, but all commercially produced tea that you buy at the supermarket is dyed. That's why some people, their teeth get stained if they drink tea. It's not from the tea. It's not from the plant. It's from the dyes that they put in the tea. So that's why it's important, number one, to always get organic tea. Kakusha twig tea, organic tea, it does not stain my teeth. I've been drinking it for 30 years. Seriously, I drink twig tea all the time, all day long, all the time. How do you make the Kakusha twig tea? This is my teapot. See my teapot? It holds about 4 cups of water, okay? Now, I get the twig tea in tea bags. You can get loose twig tea, and some people like the loose better, and that's fine. The loose, you just would have to strain it. But I get 1 tea bag. Now, I fill my tea kettle up with water, approximately 4 cups. I put the tea bag in there. I turn it on, and I bring it to a boil. Now, once it gets to a boil, I do turn it off. And I just let it sit there and steep, and I drink my tea. Pretty soon the tea kettle, and I just keep this on my stove all the time because I drink this all the time. Also, after the tea gets down to about here, it's almost gone, I need to make some more tea. So what do? I leave the tea bag in there. I add more water. I add another tea bag. That means now that my teapot has 2 bags of tea in it. I bring it to a boil. I turn it off. I let it simmer. So my second pot of tea is going to be a little darker brown than my first. Once I drink that pot of tea, I'm going to add more water. I'm going to add another tea bag. Now I have 3 tea bags in my pot of tea. I will continue to do that probably up until about 5 bags of tea. And then I usually start over with 1 tea bag. But my point is, some people take 1 tea bag and they get 1 cup and they put boiling water in it and they make 1 cup of tea and then they throw this tea bag out. This tea bag will make a whole pot of tea. And because it's twigs, it'll last longer, and it actually will add to your next pot of tea too. So you can keep adding water, adding tea bags, and then each pot is going to get darker and darker as you go along. So the first pot I do with 1 tea bag is a little lighter in color. And then by the time I have 4 tea bags in there, it's a little darker in color. So even though I'm eating Kakusha twig tea all the time, it's slightly different. So that's kind of nice, right? Okay, somebody's calling me on my phone. That's kind of disruptive, sorry. I don't know, it looks like a telemarketer, so I just set my phone over there so I don't have to worry about it. All right, it's done now. All right, so back to the, okay, so the process of the twig tea also is very interesting because they pick the twigs in the fall time. They pick the leaves for Chinese green tea in the springtime. They pick the twigs for the twig tea in the fall time, and they roast the twigs too. They roast them so it's a more robust flavor. Dawn says you need to silence your phone, LOL. Yeah, I do, Dawn, but then I had the timer set and I wouldn't hear the timer, and I'm not really sure where the silence button is. I'm one of those people that I was talking about earlier in the live where I was trying to help you with Facebook and YouTube. I'm that way with my phone. I'm not too hip with my phone, right? All right, but anyways, I digress. All right, so that's Kakusha twig tea. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat, the comment section or whatever. I can answer questions about the twig tea. But for right now, let's go back to the pear blueberry tea. Okay. And only for people who are tuned in and watching this video do you get the special edition tea where I added a little bit of basil also. Okay. So now what are we going to do? We're going to get a strainer because we got to strain it. And then I have a nice big, measuring cup pot to put it in. And we're going to strain it because we're going to get rid of all this right here. Now, a lot of people are going to ask, what am I going to do with the blueberry and the pear pulp and whatever, I mean, you can taste it if you want, but pretty much a lot of the flavor of the blueberries and the pear is down here in the tea. It doesn't really taste that good. I mean, it's okay. You could use it for something if you wanted to, but now I have those basil stems in there. So you'd have to take those stems out. Now I'm just pushing this down a little bit to kind of, squish the liquid out. Now we are going to add a sweetener to the tea. All right. Now I think this is plenty sweet enough, but a lot of people like things to be a little sweeter, right? So I am going to use my favorite sweetener, which is the healthiest sweetener. If you've watched any of my videos or attended any of my cooking classes, you can guess what that is. Oh, it's over here. Let me get it. Brown rice syrup, or what the jar says is rice nectar. This is Suzanne's specialty. This is the one I've been using for like 30 years. It's my favorite. Brown rice syrup instead of white refined sugar. This is made from whole organic brown rice, which is a complex carbohydrate. Because it's made from brown rice, a complex carbohydrate, this will never spike your blood sugar level. Never. So the sugar that's in here is maltose, M-A-L-T-O-S-E. Maltose will never spike your blood sugar level. Sucrose, which is in white refined sugar, will spike your blood sugar level. So you don't want sucrose, you want maltose. You get that from brown rice syrup. Now I make cakes, cookies, pies, desserts, all with brown rice syrup. We're going to put a 1/4 cup of brown rice syrup into the hot liquid. You want to put it in the hot liquid so the brown rice syrup, it's a thick syrup. It will dissipate. You know what? I'm going to move the camera back over here because I think I can get a closer shot over here of what I'm doing than standing in that corner by the stove. Just move stuff over here. All right, there we go. Yeah, that's a closer view here. You can see what's going on. Now, underneath the strainer, there's like some blueberry pear, I don't know what you want to call it, like mush. I put that in the tea. That's kind of flavorful, kind of adds to the tea. So I just kind of scrape the bottom there. All right, now I'm going to set this aside, get rid of it. We're going to put the 1/4 cup of brown rice syrup into the hot liquid, because brown rice syrup is like a thick, syrupy. See how it's thick and syrupy? So you need like a hot beverage to dilute it. So here we go. It's going in here. It's getting diluted. Okay. Now, sometimes I even take a whisk to it. You can just whisk that brown rice syrup in there. And now we're going to take, now if you were to taste this before I add the Kakusha twig tea, this is very sweet. This is like fruit juice, which you don't want to drink fruit juice. Fruit juice is too high in fructose, and it's not good for you, especially in the summertime, because anything that's really, really sweet, high in fructose, high in sugar, or any artificial flavor sweetener, right, will dehydrate you. And in the summertime, you want to be hydrated, not dehydrated. And intensely sweet things will dehydrate you. So by adding the 3 cups of Kakusha twig tea, this is not going to be so intensely sweet. And Kakusha twig tea helps to alkalize your system. And the natural fruit part of the tea, because of the sweetness, is acidic. So I'm actually balancing the alkaline and the acidity coming together. And because of the twig tea, I'm alkalizing the tea so that your pear blueberry iced tea will be more alkalizing to you, not acidic. Okay. And again, you want to be slightly alkaline, because disease lives in an acidic condition. All right. Here we go. So here's what the tea looks like. Right now it's warm. So now you put it in the refrigerator, right? And I happen to have some that I already did, some that I made yesterday that's already cold. And I store it in a glass ball jar, okay? And then I do shake it up before I go ahead and pour some into a glass here. Okay. It smells, oh my God, it smells so good. I can smell the basil, which I adore the smell of basil. Now, again, if you just tuned in, I'm taking the recipe that's my recipe of the month, the pear blueberry iced tea. And the recipe is on there with pear and blueberry. But for the video, I made it a little special. I put a little bit of basil in it too, a fresh basil. So that's optional, but only you that are watching the video will know about that basil addition. Yum. Now, blueberries are my favorite, so I really like this. You taste mostly, like I said, the blueberry flavor is just phenomenal. The pear is underlying, and even way in the background is a little bit of basil. Very, very refreshing. Very good for summertime. So let's talk a little bit more about summertime, because in the summertime, you want to keep your body hydrated. And you can do that by drinking water. I mean, drinking water is fantastic. Everybody needs to drink water. And of course, good quality, filtered water is your best bet. But sometimes we like something special, like for when you have an outdoor event, such as my upcoming outdoor grilling cooking class. This is actually a tea that I taught in a previous cooking class, because when you come to a cooking class, I usually have some type of special beverage that we make also. But for a special event, you want to have like something special like this. And but you want to stay away from intensely sweet things, right? So, I mean, a typical iced tea especially one that you're going to buy from the stores, it's just going to be loaded with sugar or some type of artificial sweetener, stevia, something like that. It's so intensely sweet. That's going to dehydrate your body. And the thing you want to do in the summertime is hydrate your body. Okay. So we don't want to have intensely sweet drinks, especially in the summertime. It's going to do the exact opposite. You are going to be even hotter. You're going to sweat more. You're going to be unable to handle the 90-degree weather if you're dehydrated. Now, if you're properly hydrated, you won't have to worry about that. Now, drinking the Kakusha twig tea all the time, not our special tea right here, but just drinking this on a regular basis will help hydrate your body. One of my favorite vegetables, summertime vegetables, is cucumbers. If you eat cucumbers, you will naturally hydrate your body because of the high water content. And that's also why we eat a lot more salads in the summertime, because of all the water that occurs in lettuces, cucumbers, all the beautiful fresh vegetables that we put in a salad, all hydrate your body, which will help keep your body cooled down in the summertime when it's like 90 degrees out, right? So that's why this recipe, it has a beautiful sweetness to it, but it's not overly sweet. You don't have a tremendous amount of sugar going on. So it's really good for your body. So this would be a refreshing, beautiful drink for you, right? But of course, on a regular basis, drinking water is good. Kakusha twig tea with no sweetener in it would be your best bet on a regular basis. Now, I do have a lot of people that come to me and say that they don't like drinking water. Why in the world would you not like drinking water? That's kind of hard for me to comprehend, but I do understand that everybody's different. And so I've delved into this question and I've tried to figure it out. And what happens usually, people are used to such intensely sweet things, such as if you drink pop. Some people drink fruit juices. And again, some people drink those flavored water things that have sucrose or dextrose or stevia or something in there that's like 100 times sweeter than white refined sugar. So your taste buds get all mixed up. Your taste buds get overstimulated by overly sweet things. And then when you drink something that comes from nature, water. Now, I'm not talking about tap water that's full of chemicals and everything like that, obviously. I'm talking about good purified water. A nice, beautiful glass of water when it's 90 degrees outside is so absolutely refreshing, right? But some people will say they can't drink water because it doesn't taste good. Doesn't taste good. Again, I have to question, what are you drinking on a regular basis that have disrupted the natural taste buds that you have to think that something that comes from nature that's 100% pure doesn't taste good, right? So once you start switching over, you start eating things that are more from Mother Earth, that are not refined and processed, not overly sweet, you reawaken your taste buds and things seem to taste differently. And hopefully just drinking that beautiful glass of water, you'll be able to do after a while, right? But I do understand that, people who are used to intensely sweet things, they have challenges, right? And so I try and help people overcome those challenges, right? And a one-on-one lifestyle consultation with me is an excellent way to start doing that. And I can work with you, whatever health conditions you have, but I need to go into your background and find out exactly what's going on with you so that I can help you using food choices, and we can start on a path to get you back to health. Okay, so thank you so much again for watching the video. Go ahead and say hi in the chat if you're tuned in right now. I love to hear where you're tuned in from too. And so upcoming cooking classes. I don't have where's my calendar? Here's my calendar. I've been teaching cooking classes for 28 years. That's a long time, but it's still one of my favorite things to do because it's so much fun to teach the students how to make healthy, organic, whole foods that are vegan, and they're absolutely delicious. And every time I teach a cooking class, at least one student says something like, I learned so much in your class, or I did not know such and such, whatever I'm teaching, So next Thursday, which is June 12th, I'm doing a virtual cooking class, which means no matter where you live, even if you're not here in Michigan, you can attend the virtual class. And I'm going to teach you 2 recipes that are a whole meal, and they start with whole grains. Okay. So, but they're salads for summertime. A lot of people think of a salad, they think of lettuce, it's like a side dish. No, I'm going to teach you each one of these recipes is a whole meal. So you don't have to make these 2 recipes the same day. Each one incorporates whole grains, protein, good quality fat. It's all in there. All right. So the first one is quinoa with tofu, and it's got a Dijon dressing. And the other one is brown rice, sweet potato, and asparagus. And so that class is next Thursday from 7 to 8:30. It's virtual, and I send you the recipes the day before, because some people like to go out and buy the ingredients and they cook along with me in their kitchen while I'm teaching them here in my kitchen. Okay. So that's the virtual class I have coming up in June. Now, starting on June 25th, which is Wednesday, my outdoor grilling cooking classes start. So during the summertime, I'm outside cooking. June, July, August, and we can even fit one in September. I adore cooking outside. I love it. Sometimes some of the recipes we even cook on an open fire. And so coming up on the 25th, I'm going Mexican. That's right. I have used Mexican flavoring to create this incredible menu. And I'll show you just one of the things. So we're doing a roll-up. But the roll-up has on it, grilled asparagus. I adore asparagus. But the asparagus, the way it's grilled, it has a Mexican flair to it with lots of garlic. We're going to do grilled onions. And then we're also going to do some grilled sweet potatoes, Mexican style. And the sweet potatoes are going in the roll-up. So this is part of the roll-up, although you could eat them just like this. They're so delicious. They smell amazing too. And I'm going to teach how to make a tofu sour cream, because we've got to have that tofu sour cream on the roll-up. And this is my new favorite recipe, cucumber salsa. Okay, here we go, cucumber salsa. I adore cucumbers, remember? And there's arugula in here. Another one of my favorites. So we're going to put that all together and put it in the roll-up. All those things we're going to grill. Now the tofu sour cream and the cucumber salsa, obviously we're going to make. Those aren't going to be grilled. And I don't have one for a display, but we're also doing a dessert. We're going to do like a round grilled cake, and it's apple, zucchini. I call them fritters, but they're not really fritters, but Mexican style. We're going to make like a batter, and we can actually grill the batter. So we're going to have a dessert with a raspberry sauce. All that is on the grilling cooking class on the 25th. Now, if you live here in Michigan and you're close by, you can attend in person. We make the food together and then we sit down and eat it. That's the best part of the class. But if you don't live in Michigan, I have the Zoom hooked up too, and you can attend virtually. And even though you're virtual, you're outside with us. All my other students are, interact with the people who attend virtually. We have conversations. It's just a lot of fun. The cooking classes are just so much fun. Everybody who attends really enjoys them. And I get very excited about grilling outside. So I just want to share that with you. That's what I got upcoming. All right. So I have some updates for you, right? So anybody who follows along on my YouTube channel and my Facebook page and everything, you know that I keep you guys updated about certain things that are near and dear to my heart. Okay. So the 400 ostriches in British Columbia, Canada. Have you heard of them? They're gone nationwide now. I mean, everybody's like finally hearing about them. I heard about them starting in January, because what happened was, I'll give you a scenario of what happened. It's an ostrich farm in British Columbia, Canada. and it's a large ostrich farm, and some of their birds died, and the Canadian government, the portion that's called CFIA, came out there and they tested the dead ostriches with a PCR test. And I think we all know how worthless a PCR test is. And they tested the dead ostriches. They came to the conclusion that the ostriches had the bird flu, and they put the farm under quarantine. And then they said, all of your ostriches have to be killed. They will not let the people who own the farm, Katie is the daughter and Karen is the mother, they will not let them test their ostriches. They cannot independently go and test their ostriches. The Canadian government will fine them a huge amount of money and the possibility of them being thrown into jail. And so this fight has been going on January, February, March, April, May, June. We're going on 6 months. Okay, 6 months. They went to court and they were waiting for the results. And the last live video I did was the week that it was released. So I think that was 2 weeks ago. The Canadian government came out with the results. Yep, we're going to come kill your ostriches. And on top of that, we're not going to let you know when we're coming. It'll be a complete surprise. We're just going to show up and kill all of them. Now, some of these ostriches are 25 and 30 years old, and this family has raised them since they were babies. They're like family, okay? There's a lot to the story, a lot more, obviously. The birds are completely healthy. It's been 6 months. There's nothing wrong with them. If you follow them on their website is Save Our Ostriches, but I go to Facebook. They do a lot of lives on Facebook. Go to Save Our Ostriches on Facebook. They keep you updated. Like this last weekend, they're having people come out to the farm and camp. They had over 200 people, just Canadian people who love the ostriches. They want to go see the ostriches. They had over 200 people camping out there just in support of saving these ostriches. They have indigenous native people that do drumming circles out there saying prayers. They have just all kinds of positive, uplifting things happening. Now, these ostriches are not raised for meat, okay? Not right now. So they're not like, they've actually been raised for scientific research, okay? So again, all that information is on the website, on their Facebook page. They've been very open about what's going on. I just want to let everybody know, because this is just absolutely terrible that they want to kill all of these ostriches. It needs to be stopped, okay? So I'm going to share with you the website, Save Our Ostriches. And I follow them. I share their posts. So if you're on Facebook, you want to follow them, you want to share their posts, because back in January, nobody heard of this. But now, I mean, they're having people, from news stations are covering this. It's gone all over the world. May 13th, the court ruled in favor of the CFIA, upholding their order to destroy our beloved ostriches and rejecting our plea to save them. Okay, so here's a story, what happened. Support the farmers. If you are financially able, they are asking for donations because their court fees are huge. So save our ostriches, support our farmers, protect the future. Here are some of the beautiful ostriches. We have Erica, we have Speckles, we have Frank, there's Shelly, and that woman in the picture right there is the owner of the ostrich farm. That's Karen. We have Precious, we have Q-Tip, we have Jocelyn. Another thing that if you follow them on Facebook, they do live videos where they show the beautiful ostriches. Like they're so awesome to just watch. Look, there's Arnold, there's Lulu. Like I said, these ostriches have names. They're just beautiful birds. Okay. So anything that you can do, to spread the word. And I even tell people, stop screen sharing. If the only thing you do is just include these beautiful ostriches in your prayers, you are helping to save the ostriches. I mean, even if that's all you do, I mean, there is a place where you can sign a petition. You can write the Canadian government. You can do all kinds of things, whatever you feel so inclined. Share their videos. Tell everybody you know about the situation, because that's the only way it's going to get stopped. Now, also, too, RFK Jr., who is the head of our HHS department, has reached out to the Canadian government twice. He's written an official letter to them saying that the ostriches need to be saved. And he has reached out saying that the United States wants to work with Canada to save these ostriches and to use them for scientific research, not to kill them. Don't worry. It's a scientific research to study the immunity of the ostriches. Again, all that information is on their website. You can find out about that. But RFK has reached out to the Canadian government even to try and save these ostriches. So there's a lot of people working to save them. All right, so that's Save Our Ostriches, and please say prayers for them. And another one of my passions is the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. If you follow my page, you know that. And so I've been telling you about the Porcupine Mountains and the mine. They want to put a mine right next to our beautiful Porcupine Mountains. It's our state park, okay? And it's actually was voted in 2023 the most beautiful state park in the whole United States. It's a pristine wilderness of miles and miles of trees and forest and wilderness and animals. I've been there many times. I've camped up there. It's just beautiful. And they literally want to build the mine site right next to the beautiful Porcupine Mountains. Let me share the screen right here. And you can go to Protect the Porkies, protecttheporkies.com. Here's their beautiful website where they have wonderful pictures. And then they say, Top 10 reasons to protect the Porkies. Does this really look like a good place for a mine? This is Lake Superior. This is the Porcupine Mountains. And this is where they want to put the mine, right here next to it, right next to this beautiful waterfall. Now, if anybody watching has been to the Porcupine Mountains, you have probably gone to these beautiful waterfalls that lead into Lake Superior. So it's right next to Lake Superior. The possible contamination from mine waste is another huge problem here. Disruption of outdoor recreation. I mean, people come to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan and Porcupine Mountains to get away from loud noises, people, air pollution, noise, and light pollution. And if they put a mine in there, they're going to have all of that there. Okay. Closest mine waste facility to Lake Superior in history. Again, possibility of contamination, not good. If the dam fails, Lake Superior and the park is at risk. And Highland Copper has zero on paper mining experience. So the company that is proposing to do this mining project is very shady. It also is a threat to tribal resources in the sacred Gitchagami, which is what the native people call Lake Superior. So this place where the proposed mine site is located is in a 1854 treaty territory also. They want to mine directly underneath the state park, and they want to ship the copper to Canada. So it's not even going to help the United States. The mine is more likely to hurt the economy than help the economy. So there's a lot of information on this website, Protect the Porkies. There is a petition to sign. Even if you don't live in Michigan, you can sign the petition because people come from all over the world to to visit the Porcupine Mountains. Take action. See, out-of-state residents encouraged to participate in all steps. You sign the petition. It takes like literally a minute. Now, we want to resist the $50 million taxpayer-funded grant. So last year, me and whoever, I sent emails to my senators and everything. In 2024, we defeated this twice. They wanted to give a $50 million grant to the mining company. A grant money comes from our tax-paying money. I don't know about you, but I don't want my tax dollars going to destroy the beautiful Porcupine Mountains. So in 2024, because of pushback from around the state, the grant for the $50 million tax-paying dollars, again, it was introduced twice last year, and twice we pushed back. this place, I visited this place last year in August. There's no electricity. It's out in the middle of nowhere. They would have to put in a power grid, cell towers. They would ruin the wilderness, basically. They are trying to reintroduce the $50 million grant. Okay. Here's the email addresses of people that you can send emails to. I went through the list and I sent emails to all of them. Yeah, it takes a few minutes, but saving the Porcupine Mountains, in my opinion, is worth it. And then there's a bunch of phone numbers. Just do whatever you can. Even if you just go to this page and sign the website, that's basically a wonderful step forward. And it only takes a minute to sign the petition on the website. Stop screen sharing. 906 Dreams says hello. Hello, 906 Dreams. Good to see you here. 906 Dreams, if I remember correctly, he has a piece of property in the UP, and he's building on it. I've watched some of his videos. He's building a cabin, so he probably is familiar with this Protect the Porkies movement. And thank you so much for tuning in, 906 Dreams. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah. Let's see. Other announcements. So I have on the website, macroval.com, is the tea recipe. Blueberry pear iced tea, which I just made in the video. Demonstrate how to do it. Upcoming cooking classes. Grilling outside. Mexican. It's grilled asparagus, onions on a roll-up, and also the grilled sweet potatoes we put on the roll-up, and cucumber salsa. There's also a dessert in the grilling cooking class, our zucchini apple fritters. And the virtual class that's coming up is on Thursday the 12th. That's a week from today. 2 recipes, whole grain salads as a complete meal. All right. So if you're interested in those, you want to go to my website. All right. Here's the recipe of the month. Let's go to the home page and we go to cooking classes. And this is the page where you sign up for the cooking class, the whole grain salads next week, and the outdoor cooking class. The outdoor cooking class is 6 to 9. It's a 3-hour class, because there's a lot of recipes. We do go on break quite a few times during the longer classes, which gives the students the opportunity to talk to each other. Even if you're attending virtually, the students interact with all the people that are virtual, because it's both virtual and in person. So that's a lot of fun. Stop screen sharing. Now, I have a new recipe that I just created that only you watching this video will know about, because I just created it. I got to tell you, it's one of the most delicious recipes that I've ever created. I'm so excited about that. 906 Dream says, yes, I'm familiar with it. I've been up there many times, still have not explored the whole area yet. Well, the whole area is huge. So yeah, it's kind of hard to do. You have to go up there and camp. Like, I've camped up there, I think 3 times, spent the whole week in a tent. And so I've seen large, but seeing the whole area, that would be, but you go up there and you hike and you're just out in the woods. It's fantastic. All right, back to my exciting new recipe. This is going to be an upcoming cooking class in July, which I haven't done July's schedule yet, but I wanted to let you know. So it's a chocolate cream pie. It's kind of hard to see. Like I said, I just made it and I put it in this container because this one piece is all that's left, because it's so absolutely delicious. It is light and fluffy. It's like a cream pie and it has a cookie crumb crust. Okay. And it's so absolutely delicious, because it's really hard to create something that's whipped up and creamy when you're doing organic, whole foods, vegan cooking. But I have achieved it. So coming up in July, I'm going to put this on a virtual cooking class, because we're going to make the crust. We're going to make cookies, and then we're going to make cookie crumbs. We're going to make the filling, which is very involved, and it involves making aqua faba, whipped aqua faba. I'm going to teach you how to do that. And we're going to make this pie, okay? This is going to be a special like 4th of July / my birthday cooking class, because my birthday is in July. So I celebrate like all month. I'm telling you, this pie is amazing. And it's so hard to show in the video, but it's like light and fluffy. It's like a mousse. It's like decadent, like a mousse. Oh my God, this is so good. My dear friend Dawn, who was tuned in earlier, I don't know if she's still there, but Dawn, you have to be my taste tester because she's my dear friend and she lives close by. You have to taste this pie. Dawn's birthday is coming up. I think I'm going to give her a piece of this pie for her birthday. She's going to love it. Oh my God, it's so good. So make sure you stay tuned to whether you follow me on YouTube or Facebook or whatever. And on my website, you can sign up for my newsletter. The newsletter is the best way to stay connected because I tell you about all of my upcoming cooking classes, my special events, all my new recipes, my Substack blog. All of that's in the newsletter. So sign up for my newsletter. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you very much for watching. Greatly appreciate it. If you have not hit the like button yet, please do that. It really helps with the algorithms. And if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. I greatly appreciate that also. All right. So enjoy the summer. I know it's not technically summer yet. That's still a couple more weeks before the official date, but I just love summer, so I'm ready for it. I'm celebrating it already with the blueberry pear tea and also all of my grilling recipes. I'm still creating more grilling recipes for July, August, and September too. All right, so let's see. Thank you so much. And remember, get in the kitchen and cook healthy.